The Bilt MasterCard. The Bilt MasterCard has to be one of the best credit cards of 2023. With inflation so high and the housing market being the main issue for standard Americans, the Bilt MasterCard can seriously help out and give massive benefits in the process. There was an article that came out that stated that Americans are spending over half of their income on housing, and now rent is 32% of typical Americans pay. Part of this is inflation. The other half, of course, is lifestyle increases. Most people are leaning towards the new modern high-rise apartments that are getting built. So that actually plays a part in lifestyle changes as well. So I'm not gonna blame it all on inflation. Like normally what I do is I use my credit card to pay my rent. But normally when this happens, they take about 2 to 4% of a processing fee in order for me to use that card. In certain situations, you can find yourself getting a positive value if you're able to redeem those points for a higher value, but keep in mind that a high redemption is never guaranteed. For example, let's say your rent is $3,000 and over the course of the year you spend $3,000 a month. You would spend over $36,000 a year. In just over 2 years, it would be $72,000. And in 3 years, you would have spent right at $108,000 in just rent alone. That is crazy. And let's say they take a 3% fee over that time. You would have spent over $3,000 in fees in those past 3 years. It's kind of crazy. I'm kind of feeling this as I'm explaining this. This is where I feel the power of the Bilt MasterCard comes into play, where we have never seen a card with this much power and benefits. And you can save over $3,000 that I was speaking about earlier in those fees and over those 3 years. Yeah, that sounds good, but I'm here to tell you it only gets better from here. Because the Bilt MasterCard offers you 1x back on rent payments, up to 50,000 points each calendar year. So that means if your rent is no more than $4,166 a year, you will be maxing out that full 50,000 points. And I know you're wondering, what in the world are these 50,000 points gonna be worth? Well, Bilt was just recognized by having the most valuable point system above Amex reward points and even Chase. And that's all by bank rates. So you know that it's all the way credible. In recent studies, the reason why this is valued as so high is because you can actually transfer your points one-to-one to many places such as American Airlines, IHG Rewards, United Airlines, and Air France, only to name a few. This also means if you're able to get a 2.1 cent redemption on your scoring, an additional $1,000 in a calendar year by spending money that you had already spent, if 50,000 of those Bilt points can be transferred over to American Airlines. And you could find yourself in so many different categories that you would have never seen yourself at first. You could see yourself taking more business class flights, and you can also redeem your points over to Flying Blue Miles to places like Amsterdam or Paris through Air France. Or you can use the 47,500 Virgin points for the Virgin Atlantic Upper Class. If you don't know anything about that, please look it up. I'm telling you, A1. This is all free stuff that most people won't ever get or do in a lifetime. So in a single year, just by using this card for rent and just being a responsible adult, you can accumulate all of these great things. First and foremost, it's a $0 annual fee. With something this strong, if it would have been on Amex, it would have been a $9,000 annual fee because of how great this card is. But this is a $0 annual fee. You get 1x back on rent, 2x back on travel, and 3x back on dining. And they also do a dope benefit where you get double the points on the first of the month. So instead of getting 2x back, you will get 6x on dining, you will get 4x on travel, and you will get 2x on everything else. So if you really know how to maneuver, you can get way more for your buck. Think about it. So like I stated, I know this would come in handy if you know how to play it right. Cause 6x back on dining is insane. And to top it all off, in the midst of this, you also get trip cancellation, interruption, and trip reimbursement. And with this, it will also be accredited back to your account for up to $5,000 for a non-refundable passenger fare. So just to put it into perspective, if your trip gets interrupted or canceled for any reason, you're protected. Also, Bilt gives you phone protection. If you pay your phone bill with the Bilt credit card, you get up to $800 protection. and the coverage for damages and theft. So if someone steals my phone, I'm covered up to $800, which is dope. And last not to say the least, my personal favorite is it helps me improve my credit. Come on guys, that's all I preach over here about good credit. Improving my credit will improve my chances of getting any other cards down the line. Now in terms of downsides, because I know that's probably what you're thinking, there aren't really many. I've been looking, I promise. I know that sounds kind of wild, but I'm telling you it's not. I've heard most people state that the downside, it is a MasterCard, in which MasterCard network is not accepted in all places. But come on guys, I would say 8 times out of 10, everybody accepts MasterCard. And it is backed by Wells Fargo. But I kind of look past it because they did such a great job with this card. The rollout for this card was magnificent, and it's only the start. Overall, this card is very, very, very high on my list. And if it would have came out 3 or 4 years ago, I would have saved so much money. But to get approved, I would say that you need a 670 or better to be approved. No issues, no negatives on your account, and you are good to go. But the higher the credit score is always the better. But I would say 670 on the low side. So overall, I'm gonna stamp that the Bilt MasterCard is the most valuable credit card of 2023. And if anyone is out there paying rent, this card is for you. Now, if you're a homeowner, I know you're turning your nose up, but you're in luck. I was able to reach out to a rep and I asked them stating about mortgages and if that was going to be a thing in the future. The rep literally told me that they're working on something where they can make it where a mortgage payment is going to be just as important as a rent payment. So you guys are still in luck. They don't actually have a rollout date for this yet. It's still in the beginning stages, but I'm telling you, your time is coming. I want to appreciate you guys for staying with me. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button for me and share it with others so they can take advantage of the Bilt MasterCard opportunities. Now, also, do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you agree with my data points or do you not agree? Let me know in the comment section. I will actually want to hear all about it. I might be missing something. You might tell me something I don't know, and I'm open to everything. And I want to thank you guys. And until next time, ladies and gents.